We're back on the timing belt replacement today on MR2. So we had part one. So if you look at the previous video, you'll see part one. We didn't get everything done on that video, so now we're going to finish everything up today. At least that's the plan. And I think we're on pace to do that. So welcome back. We're going to work on the cam seals, crank seal, get the oil pump back on, get the water pump back on, cam gears, and then the timing belt. So that's what's coming up here. So let's see. I gotta tell you, we had some challenges today. This is what the crank seal looks like after trying to get it out. It took a while, and I didn't even do this on camera. I was just taking forever. I had, typically put a screwdriver in right here, and you just pry this guy out, and this thing was not coming out for nothing. So it took a while. I had to pry this up and then use the seal puller to kind of get inside here and pull this thing out like that. So it shouldn't be that difficult, but I don't know why it took me such a hard time to get it off, but that's where we're at. I did take it off and I started putting in the new one. Now there is a retainer in the back of this, like a metal retainer. And honestly, I should have taken a picture of it, but I was just so caught up trying to get this figured out. So there's a retainer that literally goes in the back of this thing. So I put it in and then put the seal over. And now I'm trying to get it flush. But I was trying to do this with my hands, but I just can't seem to get it further down. So I actually went to Home Depot and got this little kit here. This pipe. That's the part number from Home Depot. I don't know what size it is, but it fits. So it's gonna fit right over here. And then I have a seal puller kit. So this is a part from my seal puller kit. You'll see it over there on the ground. That's from Harbor Freight. So I just used this cover and I'm gonna put it on here with the bolt, and then we're gonna tighten this thing down so we can get this flush, okay? So that's what's gonna come up. I'm probably gonna time lapse this because, it's not that exciting to watch me screw something down, so we'll time lapse it. But one of my I don't know if it's a subscriber or a viewer, he did mention a comment, and he mentioned about some of the cool stuff, at least the stuff I think is cool, he thinks is cool too, that I have in the garage. So I'll just give you a quick pick. These are some 1980s BMX. So I have 1980s BMX. That green one was actually my bike as a kid, and I had it restored, and I had so much fun doing it. So I actually kind of went crazy and bought some more BMXs. So you'll see a couple of BMXs here. So if you're into BMX, I could do a feature on this. Just let me know in the comment section. And of course, if you look at the wall, you'll see tons of RC cars, because as you can probably tell, I enjoy building stuff. So I just kind of build them, the chassis, the bodies, everything. So that's one of the things I'm into. So if you want to see more of that, let me know as well, and we can certainly do that. All right. But anyways, let's get back on the timing cover. Alright, so my PVC method worked pretty good. I couldn't use the thing from the steel driver, so I bought this little screw-on tab while I was at the Home Depot. And I just put a hole in there, screwed it in. And then I stuck it over here, put the nut behind, and as you saw in the video, basically drove it in. So it's pretty flush now. Couldn't get it further in by hand, so I think that should be good enough. So we're gonna work with that right now. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the next, the cam gear. So I did one off camera already. So this one was in already. So now we're gonna do the second one over here, okay? All right, so. So I have the old one, which you took off. And like I said, you just put your screwdrivers, pop this out, right? That's how this one came out. I'm assuming this is an aftermarket, because this one is black and it looks like the Toyota stuff is all this kind of brownish color. So let's get this in and we should be good. I'm using a 36mm socket with an extended bolt to drive this in. So let's get started on this. Time lapse. Okay, so we got the two cam gears, two cam seals in, so that's done. We got the crank seal in, that's done. Now we're gonna work onto the oil pump. So I'm gonna pull this apart, take this nut off, and gonna take this little pumping accessory off here. And this is the seal we gotta get out. So I'm gonna take this out, and then we're gonna replace, this is the old one. We're gonna replace this O-ring somewhere here. Basically, we're gonna replace this guy, okay? So let me get this out. I'm gonna time lapse this so you guys can see. Hopefully the seal doesn't give me as much trouble as the rest of those did, so let's see. I got my seal puller and I got a screwdriver, so let's see which one is gonna be more effective. Okay, so we got the rubber on in the back, this new one on in the back, and then we put the new seal in. So as you saw, you just gotta be careful to make sure this doesn't fall out while you're getting the cover on. So now we're gonna put in the bolts. We got the two short, and everything else is a long bolt. I'm just gonna run them up. And these are gonna get torqued to 69 inch-pounds. So 69 inch-pounds, I'm gonna break out the torque wrench and we're gonna get that torque down. All right, so let me get this torqued and then we're gonna get down to the water pump. All right, so I'm gonna torque these to 69 inch-pounds. I'm gonna go in a crisscross pattern here. Alrighty, so we got the water pump torqued on. This I'll have to torque it once I get the timing belt on. I might try a belt strap on here to see if I can hold it and then torque this down. So if I can, I will. So just watch along, okay? So now we're gonna work on the water pump. So let me clean this up and then we're gonna get the water pump on. Alright, so we have the water pump. I put the water pump onto the housing and see I got the housing nicely painted. So now we're gonna get it installed. The gasket is already on here and I just kinda use 3 bolts to hold it in. We'll torque those after we get everything on for sure. So we're gonna start off with the O-rings. We have this one that replaces on the pipe here. So let's get going on that one first, and then we're gonna do the one on the back here, and then the gasket that goes here, all right? So let's get started. So this is the old one. Clean out right here really good. And we're just gonna slip the new one on. Pretty simple. O-ring is on, goes in between the grooves right here. All right. And then this one is gonna fit into the back right here. I gotta be careful when we're putting this on, it doesn't fall out. Right, basically it just goes like so. And then this one, this is the part number for the gasket that goes here. All right, so for this gasket, there's a raised portion here. And if you look at the housing, you'll see the indent where it left the trace of where the raised portion was pressing onto it. If you look at this side, it's nice and clean. So this, basically the raised portion is go towards this. So raised portion towards this side, the groove section towards this side, okay? So now we're gonna get some soapy water, because the manual suggests you put soapy water on the O-ring, so when you try to slip this in, it slides right in, and then we're gonna get everything buttoned up and tightened up. All right, we just finished torquing the bolts on the water pump, the front side here. This turns nice and freely, so now I'm gonna torque down the 2 nuts on the hard water lines back here. These are 9 foot-pounds. 1, and I actually torqued it already. I'm just doing this just to show. All right, so 9 foot-pounds on here. So now we're gonna get the thermostat in, and we're gonna torque this down as well. This torque down to 69 inch-pounds. So I had it nice and painted. There is a little bleeder thing, that pin that was here. I take it out. I did it when I did the 5S motor, and it just helps with the MR2 with bleeding. So some people might not like it, but works for me. So I took that out. It will help to fill the coolant, so I don't have to wait for the thermostat to open for the water to get through the entire engine. So I'm still gonna line it up here. This mark lines up with the dot right there, and then we're gonna insert in here and torque this down. And the thermostat comes with this gasket, the black gasket. You just put it on the end there, and pretty much just put everything in, just like so. That's it. Next step is just to torque it down. And this is torqued to 69 inch-pounds, just like the water pump. All right, so we're gonna torque this down, 69 inch-pounds. You don't need to watch me doing that. And then we're gonna move on to getting the idler pulleys on, and then the cam gears on, and then try to set the timing belt without much drama. So stay tuned. All right, so now I'm gonna get the lower idler pulley on. Basically just thread it in, and we're gonna torque this down to 32 foot-pounds. So there you go, I tightened it up already. And 32. And you can probably tell I already torqued it. I just wanted to show. So man, this is taking a while. It is taking a while, but we're gonna get this done in one video here. So we're gonna move from this pulley, everything turns nice and smooth. So just checking here, this one turns nice and smooth. So now we're gonna put on the cover here and then the cam gears. So we're almost there. So let's get this cover on. Goes right here. Remember, we had to take this off to get the water pump off, so now we gotta do the reverse. So let's get this guy on here. And I have no idea where I put that screw, so we gotta find that. And we're gonna torque this to 69 inch-pounds, just like we did the water pump. Alright, so time to get the cam gears on. And I'm actually going to put some blue Loctite on this, just as some safety. Alright, from here we're going to put, this is the old one, we're going to put the new one here, and then after that we're ready to get the belt on. Alright, so coming along. Alright, so we got the upper idler on, so now I'm going to torque this down to 38 foot-pounds. And I did put, it comes with red Loctite from the factory. I put a little blue on the tip, so we got red and blue. So it's 38. So we got everything basically on now. I just gotta torque this, but I need to get some help from my camera person to hold the cam gear so I can torque it. So we're not gonna be able to record that, but essentially what's gonna happen, we're gonna torque this down, and the only thing I'd have left to torque is this, right? And then we're gonna put the belt on, put the tensioner on, and it's done. All right, so here's the setup. So we got the tensioner on and we got the belt on. So right now, if you look, you see the marks. This is our original Toyota belt, so it has the marking for the cams. So this line is lined up with the dot and the valve cover. The dot, the line, the valve cover is lined up. Just rotate the engine so everything is lined back up. So now I'm going to take the tensioner pin out. There you go. And now we have basically everything done. So we got the timing done. So all that's left to do now is to put the cover on and tidy everything up. I still have to torque this bolt. This is the only thing left to torque. Then the covers go on and engine is pretty much done. So where we are. Next video you're gonna see, I'm gonna put the cover on. We're gonna get the intake manifold on, and pretty much the engine is gonna be done. So the next step will be moving towards the car. There might be some odds and ends we need to do, but basically, you know, this is the biggest part of the job so far. Everything is just kind of cosmetic and refreshing seals and cleaning up and all of that good stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a long video. It did take some time. It actually took me 2 days to do with filming and everything. So see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.